I'm jealous. I'm jealous of the Ioniq 5N. The speed, the cool graphics, the configurability, and those seats. I can't change everything about my car to make it an Ioniq 5N. I can change the seats to be a little bit cooler. Today we're going to be adding in some acid green to the EV6 GT seats. Stay tuned. So there was a discussion recently on the EV6 GT forum about how to make the inlay on the GT seats look cooler by making it acid green in the outline of GT that's in the seats. Let me show you what they look like now. So with that discussion, I took that idea to Battskins.com. They're the ones that made a acid green GT logo for the back of my car, and they also make other overlays and various other vinyl applications. So I contacted them to see if they'd be interested in making a GT vinyl inset for the seats of the GT model, and they said they were. We worked out the dimensions. They sent me several test ones, and I have finally hear from them the final product, and we're going to install it today. So when you look at these, it has a paper backing, and then it has a somewhat sticky clear paper and the vinyl itself on adhering to that sticky paper. So what you're going to do is take off the backing, put it over, position it properly, and then push in with your fingers over the cellophane. You're going to push in over the clear thing where you want the green to go. Very tough to describe, but I think you'll see it as we go through it and put this on. All right, let's go to the car. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is clean off the seat insert to get rid of any dust or dirt or anything else that's there, like stuff from your head or your hair, any oils. You want to get rid of all of that before you start putting on the vinyl. Now, if you see what I did there, I took the vinyl and I pulled back the vinyl part and the plastic clear part, releasing it from the backing, which is kind of a waxy paper. And now you just kind of put that over the place that you want to put it on your car in the inset and kind of position it as best you can. Take your time with this. The most important thing here is to have patience and to get it positioned in the right place before you push it down more. And you can pick it up and put it down a couple times, as I did there, to get it in the right place. Now, once you have it in the right place, I'm taking a vinyl heat gun on the lowest setting, a little bit away from it. You can use a hair dryer as well, and what that does is it'll activate some of the glue that is on the vinyl. Now I'm taking a vinyl application squeegee thing, but you can use your fingers. You don't really need to use that blue thing that I have there. See, I'm using my fingers because this is such a small amount of vinyl. You really want to like push it in to the recesses of that seat inlay as much as possible. You'll see, even with doing all of this, that the vinyl adhesive is not very strong and is not activated right away. So it's kind of a little bit of a challenge. It's the biggest challenge of this is actually lifting up that clear backing and leaving the vinyl placed where you want it in the seat. And I'll show you that in a second. I'm just sticking my finger in here again. And remember, you just got to be as patient as possible with all of this. It's not that tough as long as you go slowly. Now, I pull the clear backing and the vinyl is trying to come up with it. So what I'm doing is kind of actually using my finger and separating the green vinyl from the backing as I go along. And you just got to go very, very slowly, as you'll see right there. And ever so slowly, you're kind of pulling the clear backing off and kind of pushing in at the same time the vinyl that's left behind into where you want it to be on the seat. Don't worry if you have to go very slowly or if you have to kind of manually put the vinyl in there. It's not that tough to do, and it does go in the right place, and it is sized properly, essentially to fit and line up with the recessed portions of that silver inlay. And so here I have the G part done, and just kind of pushing it in, especially the edges. The edges are the ones that are the most sensitive, that kind of might lift up until they're really pushed in, and the kind of the adhesive on the back of the green gets more activated. I think over time it gets stickier and adheres to it, but to begin with, from the outset, it's not extremely sticky. And I think that's by design, so you can reposition it a couple times. All right, now I'm doing the T, which is really two parts, the top and the bottom. The top I found was a little bit tough to get to stay there, but as you see, I kind of just am manually placing it and pushing it in as I lift off the backing. And then you have to make sure you get the bottom as well, that little bottom portion of the T, which I think really wasn't as much of a problem there. Just getting that edge and the last part of the T off right now. And I think we're just about done there. Now one final pass of me pushing in the vinyl into the seat recesses there, making sure it's all good. And now I went over it with that heat gun once more. You can use a hairdryer, you don't have to use a heat gun. Most importantly, don't use it too closely or for too long a time. You do not want to bubble up the vinyl or burn it or do anything bad like that. The heat gun can get really hot really fast, so be careful with it. It's always better to leave it cooler than too hot. And there we go, I'm just kind of pushing in the edges as much as possible, and there you have it. This is a pretty simple, clean install, not that tough to do, and really I think adds to the visual appeal of the seats of the EV6 GT, makes it a little bit more unique, and it somehow helps with a little bit of the coping mechanism that I have to have with all the toys that are in the Ioniq 5N. Anyway, get out there and have some fun with your car driving it, and I'll see you on the next one.